How's it going? This is Eric with Jim Andes again. I'm going to introduce you to one of your first Chilean words that means everything to Chileans. Onces. That's what I'm about to eat with my wife, but I'm going to turn out this little video first so that you guys can have something to think about for a little while, because as we've mentioned, or as I've mentioned, I've been talking about the different regions, about Chile, what you can do in these areas and stuff like that, which is all good to know if you want to have a vacation here. However, there's something about Chile that you kind of need to keep in mind before you make a decision, and that's the fact that of all the South American countries, it's one of the more expensive. It's because the economy, the government, and the general standard of living is a little bit higher here than it is in other countries. However, you need to understand that also makes this place a great place to visit, a great tourist spot, especially for Europeans or for folks from the States, because it's more toward what we're accustomed to in some areas. Now, I'm not going to say all, because you get out in the country, it's pretty rugged, it's pretty rough sometimes. But generally, the refuges and the different hostels or the different cabins, that kind of stuff, it's pretty good. You will find stuff here what they call residences, and, well, I mean, a residence is where somebody lives, but here it's even more, because if it says it's a residence, it's really like you rent a room from somebody. And you get to eat with the family. You get to throw your scraps to their dog or have their dog lick your plate. You know, that kind of good stuff. You even get to chase down the chickens sometimes and help kill them. But that's out in the country more than anything. So it's just something to keep in mind. But in the cities and in the towns, it's pretty well organized for a Latin country. There are things that are a little bit different, but it's good. You know, it's more along our pace. That's why we live here. In fact, is because we thought about different places where we'd feel the most comfortable making the adjustment from the culture that we lived in the States, coming to a third world country. And I guess you could say that Chile is kind of like a second world country, even though that doesn't really exist. It's just certain areas of Chile: Santiago, Puerto Montt, Puerto Varas, Rancagua, Arica, Iquique, you know, Concepcion. All these different places are cities that are pretty well known. Valdivia, and they don't have any issue using credit card. They don't have any issue using credit, that kind of stuff. They have nice houses a lot of the time. They have nice cars. But then you get into the more rural areas, and you're dealing with very country people. They're very nice, generally speaking. You know, you just got to keep in mind every aspect that comes along with it. So, when you're thinking about other countries and coming to Chile, you might want to take that into consideration, because Chile really does have better transportation than most other countries. You can get places a lot easier, especially here in like the 10th region. Traveling for adventurism or tourism or hiking, trekking, whatever. Getting from the airport, because, like, for instance, just out of Puerto Varas, I guess about an hour out, they actually have an airport. So you can come in from the States or from Europe to Santiago, because all international flights go into Santiago, and then you can be routed down on a national flight within Chile to Puerto Varas. And it's about an hour flight, I guess, and we've seen them as low as about, I guess, $200 a person, more or less, $150 a person, round trip. But just kind of keep that in mind. It's just something to do. I was looking after my wife to make sure that I wasn't saying something wrong, and she was going to chastise me about it. But, you know, she's always the one that looks up the prices on flights and stuff, and I just take her word for it, so she's probably robbing me blind. But that's okay. She makes all the money anyway. I just sit here and make web videos. So, you know, to keep helping me sit here and make web videos, keep coming by Jim Andes and keep seeing what I've got up for deals and what kind of tips I can give for coming here, what kind of reasons. Just remember that when you're making a decision to come to Chile, search really well for tickets. They're expensive, especially from the States. I know that they can be up into the $1,200 range per person. Lowest we've seen them is about $800 a person, and that's from Atlanta on a direct flight on a super deal from Delta. Also, another quick thing: if you're going to fly the whole way, try to look into what connecting flight you're going to have within Chile to make sure that your luggage meets their standard rate of weight for the national flight company within Chile, because sometimes they let you bring in a lot of weight from the states to here, or considerably more weight, and then the national flights within Chile have a reduced weight per person. That can get you. It can mean the difference of having gear or not having gear, or paying quite a bit in overage fees. There's always the bus too, and the buses from Santiago to Puerto Varas are about 15 hours, I guess, 14 hours, something like that. And they cost, I think, I don't recall, I think it's about 20 to 40 bucks. I'm sorry, it's about $40 to 60 bucks for the cama, which is the beds that the seats that lay almost completely flat. And then for the semi-cama, where just the back reclines quite a bit, like in an airplane, it's about half price of that. So that's just one way, by the way, 40 to 60 bucks one way. But you can carry a ton of luggage on those things because the buses are huge and they just load them down. So also just note that if you have any questions, you can always drop me a line at McGrew, McGrew @jimandes.com. My email is on the site as well. And then I also have a Skype handle, and I'm on Skype sometimes, which is JEM_Chile, CHILE, and you can look me up on that and just send me a request or send me a note. Be more than happy to answer any of those on my Twitter account as well, and on my Facebook. I'm constantly looking for people who are looking for deals on gear that I can find for them. That gives me a post, and it also helps you out. And if you have any more information that you need because you're making a trip quicker or in the near future, I can help you give what information I've been delayed on getting to you through the trip. So just or through my post. So just let me know what's going on, and I'll do what I can to help you out. Thanks. Bye.